My name is Rodney David Fallberg, and I'm a registered Republican voter, and I believe in the principles of our party. I support sending aid to Ukraine and more aid because it is important for the America and NATO and the Western world to stop the rise of what is essentially the Kremlin's attempt to create a neo-Soviet empire. It's important for the Republican Party to continue to fight for freedom and liberty and the rule of law and order in the world because we are the party that believes in that. We're the party that ended slavery. We're the party that stood up against communism. We're the party that stood up against despots and dictators like Noriega and Saddam Hussein. We're the party that believes in the idea that freedom for America and for the Western world doesn't just matter in our own borders, it matters over there, it matters internationally. And when we see freedom being snuffed out potentially in Ukraine, it's up to America and Republicans to recognize that we have a moral imperative to do something about it. We live in an international world. We trade with the world. We have people from around the world who live here, who become citizens here. We have Americans who live across the international world. We are the leaders of the world. And if America decides to abandon Ukraine, we lose that place. And who takes our place? Do we want the CCP? Do we want the Kremlin? Do we want the Ayatollahs? Do we want the Taliban? Do we want other evildoers out there to replace us? I don't think so. If Ukraine loses this war, and by extension, NATO and America will lose this war, how much stronger will our enemies get? To the Republicans out there that don't support more aid to Ukraine, I would say this: the principles of the Republican Party say that when freedom is threatened here at home, we defend it. And by extension, when freedom for America and for the Western world and for our friends and our allies who believe in us and who trust in us is threatened internationally, we have a responsibility and a duty to help. I want to give a shout out to Republicans out there who have been extremely supportive of Ukraine. For example, Representative Don Bacon from Nebraska. He has every single time when it's come to Ukraine stood up for the Ukrainians' noble fight. It's up to Republicans like myself and others to uplift those voices and recognize that the fight for freedom doesn't end. And we have to maintain the principles of our party and stop allowing isolationist voices from libertarian wings who have infiltrated the party and say that no, we reject that and we will continue to fight for freedom, not just here in America, but also internationally and abroad.